Hadi, Sage Lissert Sadni, Saikana Lashabu Yenka Dene Keo. Hello, my name is Sage Lissert. I am a carrier woman from the Lake Babi Nation. I'm the National Youth Ambassador for the Moose Hide campaign, and I'll be your host today. I am so excited to welcome the incredibly talented Tia Wood to our Q&A TikTok session. Tia Wood is a force to be reckoned with who is taking TikTok by storm. She has 1.7 million followers on the app. Here are some of her TikToks to show you why.
Dance, hello, welcome to Auntie T's history lesson. Today we are going to talk about residential schools. So residential schools opened up between the 1870s to the 1880s, and the motive was to kill the Indian and save the man, as Mr. Richard H. Pratt stated in his 1892 speech. The children were not allowed to speak their language, practice their culture, and were also isolated from their family and their communities as a way to try break them into forgetting their culture and who they are so that they could fit into the civilized world. These schools were run by the government as well as the Roman Catholic, Anglican, Methodist, Presbyterian, and United churches. These children experience emotional, mental, cultural, spiritual, physical, and sexual abuse. And in some schools, the electric chair was used as a form of punishment. And over 150,000 kids in Canada alone attended these schools. Thousands never made it home, and the last school closed down in 1996.
Did you recognize her? I think we can all see why the world has been so drawn to Tia. She's absolutely incredible. Next, we have a Q&A between campaigner Willie and Tia. Let's sit in on their chat to learn a bit more about Tia's TikTok journey.
Hello everybody, my name is Tia Wood and I come to you from the Satellite Cree Nation of Treaty 6 territory over in Alberta, Canada. And I grew up there. I was the youngest of 5 siblings, and I am a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm a content creator, and I now reside in BC. I kind of just moved here, and yeah.
So many Indigenous women and girls look up to you and have been inspired to connect with their culture. How has that affected you and the kinds of videos that you make?
It definitely affected my content in a positive way. Now that I know that I have, younger people watching me as well as people my own age, I started kind of, doing what I would have wanted to see when I was a kid, because there was kind of like, there wasn't really much Indigenous representation in the mainstream media. So like, but when there was, it was kind of like, all the Hollywood movies kind of like misrepresented us, maybe shedded us in a negative light. So when I found out that there's people watching me, I kind of started promoting, self-love, self-acceptance, embracing the culture as well as myself, because I don't know, that's what I would have wanted to see when I was a kid.
Grab a pen and paper. It's time to make a list of role models or inspirational people you see or know from media. They can be actors, musicians, YouTubers, and of course, TikTokers. Now that you've had a minute to make a short list, take a closer look. Are any of them Indigenous? Are they mostly men or women? Researchers at the University of Southern California studied the 700 top-grossing films from 2007 to 2014 to analyze diversity in film. Check out the results.
So when did you kind of start on TikTok? Like what's your TikTok journey?
Okay, so I had TikTok for actually a really long time. So I had it ever since maybe beginning of last year. And I would just watch and like wouldn't really post anything, maybe like a singing video here or there. Didn't really think much of it. But I think it was September was when I posted my first Make It Indigenous video of me singing. And I remember because like I remember me and my mom were supposed to go to check the mail that day, and I was like, oh wait, I want to make a video really quick because I seen one of my friends do the video first, and she did her own little indigenous singing to it, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, like that sounds so cool. So I took the video and I was waiting for my mom. She was getting ready and it was maybe like the second take, and I was like, okay, well, whatever, I don't I don't really care, so I'll just post it. And then and then we went to go check the mail. We came back and that video was just blowing up. And then I don't know, I was just so in shock because I never ever thought like my singing or my music would ever like have a response like that. So that's what kind of kickstarted the whole entire thing, and I started making videos more consistently. And yeah.
You've also used TikTok to sort of teach people about Indigenous culture and the adversities that Indigenous people have and continue to face, such as, residential schools and the alarmingly high rates of violence against Indigenous women and children. What has the response and the sort of effects of these videos been?
Honestly, it's been very, very surprising to me because the response to them is so heartwarming, because a lot of people, they didn't know about a lot of the issues that I brought up, such as like residential schools, 60 Scoop, MMIW. But like I've gotten so many messages after those videos being like, I like took it upon myself to look into it after you posted the video, or like even another content creator posted a video and they're just like, I never knew this. So it's been very heartwarming to see people like really care and go as far to educate themselves. And but what comes with a lot of love is hate too. There has been a lot of not a lot, there's been more positive than negative, but there has been some negativity that came with it, just people like just not responding well to it.
I guess, do you have any like advice for people who might be creating, like educational content who are getting, the negative feedback? Like, how did you cope with that?
At first I would take it very personal. Like I would even like contemplate deleting the video because I was like, oh, like maybe I should just like try be as, just try keep it neutral with everything, maybe just not speak about it. But then I was like, I don't know, like if I'm not speaking my truth, then like what's the point? So I started realizing that a lot of the comments that I get, a lot of the hate comments or negative comments that I get is just like, don't take it personal, because it's more about them than it is about you. It has been definitely hard to get like adjusted to, just because it all happens so quick. But
I could not even imagine. I only recently got TikTok and I am pretty new and not that great at it yet. So, as the Moose Head campaign is a grassroots organization of men and boys standing up to violence against Indigenous women and children who are 5 times more likely to experience violence in Canada. How do you think that like your presence on TikTok has sort of strengthened Indigenous women and girls?
First of all, I just want to say that like I so admire what you guys are doing. I think it's so beautiful and it's so important. So I just wanted to say like thank you guys for what you do. But I think maybe my presence strengthens other Indigenous women and girls just because let me think about that. I think it strengthens because, in the past, like when I was growing up, I didn't really see people that looked like me or that came from where I came from. And like that was, and it did have like a toll on me because, you know, like I was just like, am I even capable of doing things, or am I capable of, you know, being recognized, or like just, you know, making it far. And that's what really affected me when I was a kid, because I never seen Indigenous women, you know, like maybe here or there I seen it, but I don't think I seen it enough to feel like good about myself. So I feel like my presence and what I do strengthens them, because it's showing them like, hey, you can do this, you know, like you're fully capable of doing it as anybody else is. And you know, whenever something good happens for me, I always say, you know, it's not just a win for me, but it's a win for all Indigenous women. And whenever I see other women like do something amazing, or get recognized, or like just like achieve something like crazy, I'm just like, damn, like that's like a win for everybody. So like that's how I feel maybe my presence strengthens other women, because it just shows them like, you know what, you are capable. You're just as capable as anybody else.
Thank you so much. That was a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. I love that whole thing. So in terms of like activism and, you know, like putting good messages out there, how have you seen TikTok sort of help raise awareness? And do you think that there's, you know, potential in TikTok to raise awareness?
Oh yeah, of course. I think there's so much potential in TikTok. I think TikTok is a good tool to get messages out there, just because like it's so there's so many different kinds of people out there from all walks of life. And like that's what I've noticed about my following. Like I check it sometimes, and there's people from all over the world. So I think it's definitely an amazing tool to speak out about stuff and to try get more people aware of some issues that we're having in the Indigenous community.
And in terms of followers, I mean, you have like well over 1 million followers, which is crazy. I can't even imagine, you know, it's amazing that that many people are going to see Indigenous content and Indigenous education firsthand from Indigenous people. Like that's just such an amazing thing about TikTok. How has that sort of changed your life?
It honestly, it has changed so crazy. Like it's been such a crazy change ever since September, just because it's been only a couple months since this whole thing. So it has been a lot to get adjusted to, but it also has brought so much amazing people and opportunities in my life. And I couldn't be more thankful. Sometimes I can't even process what has happened these past few months, because like now, like before this whole thing, I never really wanted to make my own music. That's one thing I didn't really think like it was like that important. It was something I so really wanted, but like as I was saying before, like the lack of representation, it just made me feel like like I don't think I can make it there. But that's what it changed, is like I feel more capable of doing things now, and like I'm actually gonna go record, I think, in like 2 weeks. So that should be really cool.
So if you had to give some advice to today's sort of, you know, youth, and especially Indigenous youth who want to make a difference, what would be your sort of advice?
Something that I always tell people is, you know, if you're passionate about something, and if you love doing something, and if that thing that you love doing fills your heart, you know, just do it, because it doesn't matter how odd or invalid other people make it out to be, or how weird they see it. If you love doing it, and if it makes your heart happy, then it is worth doing. So go out and do it. And another thing is to, always remain kind, always treat people kind, because you never know what someone is going through, behind closed doors or beyond the camera. So that is something I would say too, is just continue being kind, because it could just, the smallest gesture can make someone's whole day. And another thing I would say is you are just as capable as anybody else in this world to do anything you want to.
A huge thank you to Tia Wood. What an amazing person. TikTok can be an incredible place to spread awareness and for activism. We encourage you to use your moose hide pin and create your own TikTok, raising awareness to the high rates of violence against Indigenous women and children. We encourage creativity, but we also have some sample TikToks to draw ideas from. Remember to use your hashtag MooseHideCampaignDay. Thanks so much, and stay safe.